Welcome to A Mason's Work, the podcast where we review Masonic symbols and illustrate how they can be used to solve problems in everyday life. With your host, Brian Mattox, a proud member of the Craftsman Online Media Network.
I think we've all been there, where you have something come up and you have two choices. And we talk about this biologically, right? It's the fight versus flight reflex, where there is something that happens, a piece of feedback, critique, something that gets just a little bit too close, and you want to kick ass. Or you kind of run from it, you reject it, you go completely flat, you dismiss it, like, whatever, it doesn't matter. That is an indication that you need to go into the preparing room. Those kinds of responses to something that has arisen in your everyday life, that there was a knock on the door and the Tyler and the Persuivant or the Tyler in your inner guard routed it to the preparing room. Anytime you have a situation where you are all sorts of hot and bothered about what you're going to do next, you can't examine from those positions. To route those cares and concerns and challenges into the examining room will be a mistake, because you are not able to rationally examine. You have to go through the preparing room. The preparing room reminds us to divest ourselves of the metallic substances of our everyday life, the things that are offensive and defensive. And so when you come in with a situation where you are carrying all of that metallic stuff, you're going to run the risk of not being able to honestly take on the work. So the first thing you need to do is go into the preparing room. And for a lot of people, you need to develop a preparing room process, right? We talk about the preparing room in the context of conferring degrees, or what that degree experience is and how do you get ready for it. When you're about to do work on something within you, you have to have your own preparation process to get through to the level of understanding to do the work. You have to take off the armor. You have to put down the sword. You have to let go of any of those preconceived notions about whether or not you qualify for the work, you qualify for these fears. A lot of folks think that maybe because they're doing well financially, that they don't have the right to be afraid of things. You have to drop all of that crap in the preparing room. So for some folks, you can do that on a cushion, right? You can sit and you can meditate and reflect and let go of the emotional response. You can take that deep breath and let it go. Some folks need to process this stuff differently, right? So whatever your process might be, sometimes it's a journaling process. Sometimes it's just that naming process. Sometimes it's going out for a walk in nature and, feeling that that being a part of something bigger will help you let go of that immediate emotional response. What's important then is to, again, with an established protocol for your own preparation to do the work, is then begin to threshold into the lodge itself. You can say, okay, well, I think I have let go of all of this noise. I think I'm ready to deal with this. And when you do, you then can either take it into the examining room, where it's no longer has that emotional charge, and you can begin to determine, is this mine? Is it appropriate? Does it make sense? Is the response, rational or irrational, or what have you? And then move it into the examining room, or you can move directly, or into the lodge rather, or you can move directly from the preparing room into the lodge, with something that you know is yours, that you know you've owned and earned and all of those things. So you can then take it into your mental lodge and begin the process. And for as much as we've been talking about the mental lodge all week and for the last several weeks, don't dismiss, you could take this into your real lodge as well. You can go and socialize this process with people that you know, care about, and trust. This does not have to be a solo exercise. If you're feeling heated about a thing, you can go talk to a brother. So this part of your preparation, again, is something that you can take on. You can collaborate. You can work with a partner. You can work with a brother. And from there, once you're ready, you can then move it into the lodge space and begin to figure out how you're going to react and how you're going to respond. Once it's honest, once it's true and validated, then we can build the appropriate capacity and figure out how we're going to deal with this in the future. And we'll talk about that tomorrow as we close the week.
The views represented in this podcast are those of the speaker alone and are not representative of any grand or subordinate lodge.
Hi, Brian here. I wanted to thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you have any suggestions or guidance for further episodes you'd like to see or hear, whatever the case may be, please don't hesitate to reach out to me at amasonswork.com, and we will try and incorporate your suggestions into a future recording. Thanks.
Freemasonry teaches us that the true work is within, a lifelong journey of reflection, discipline, and discovery. At A Mason's Work, we help Masons bring out their best selves through meaningful self-inquiry and symbolic practice. From personal reflection to lodge engagement, we offer tools that turn symbols into action. Visit us at amasonswork.com. The work is within. The time is now.